Welcome to Retail EngAIge, where we deep dive into the trends shaping the future of retail. Today's episode is actually an exciting one. We are talking about artificial intelligence in retail and how it is transforming the way we shop, sell, and engage with our customers. To explore this, we have three incredible minds from our own house, that is RDEP, Vikas Rathod, the CTO of the company, Mohammed Rashid, who is the product manager and the mastermind behind building the retail solutions that we have. Pallab Kumar Sahoo, the technical manager who ensures seamless execution of our retail technology. Now it's time to get into it because I have a question just to kick things off. How AI is different from traditional solution and how it has evolved over time.
Sure. So thanks, Aditya. So I will talk about this in three phases, or rather three waves. So AI can be considered something that has evolved in three waves. Initially, there was something called traditional AI. Let's categorize that as a traditional AI. So what is traditional AI? Traditional AI is more of a set of algorithms which provides a mathematical based on mathematical logic and rules. It provides you the solutions. So it'll use mathematical formula like linear regression, or there are so many. There is BERT, and there are so many such things. But the whole concept behind that was how can maths be used in computer programs to provide solutions or answers to the problems that we are facing. So that's where it all started. But after that, if you look at ChatGPT started working on LLM, which is the next wave of the AI evolution, which it took approximately 5 years for them to do this. And why it took 5 years is because though the algorithms and everything was there, the large language models basically work on the data. So when we talk about data, it can be all kind of data. But let's talk about this example of ChatGPT, for example. So what happens is they have to collect the data first. And when I say data, it's a massive amount of data that they have to collect. Then use that data, clean that data. Then they have to use certain base architectures to implement those solutions. And these architectures are nothing but some of the rules that they want to apply on the data. For example, if we are using the string data, so there's a lot of text that we are talking about, then the idea is to take that information, break down that data into smaller parts. That's what we call it as token, and then correlate that data together using an LLM architecture on which it is based. And that process itself takes huge amount of time as well as huge amount of money to build that model. So that was the second wave where this data has gone through a lot of processing, and there's a lot of algorithms that play a role into it. So it's like, so the whole the concept behind LLM is like, how can we replicate the neural networks? So if you think about our brain, every neuron is talking with the other neuron. So every neuron has lots of those small threads which connect to other neurons, and then they take the data, process it further, and then that cycle continues. The same logic applies when it comes to processing the data in case of LLM models. So those models were built that has built a massive vector databases, and then we started using that. So roughly more than 2 years ago, ChatGPT came up with the first uh, prompt-based solution, and that changed the way we look at the computing power and the ability of the AI, because we could communicate with AI as if we are communicating with a friend of ours. So that's how simple it is. And again, there are other phases that comes later where you can use these LLM models for your own purposes. And it's a part of LLM training lifecycle where you can do the fine tuning and then use it for your own purpose. For example, if you want to use it for retail or healthcare, we can use curated data, do the fine tuning on the existing supplied LLM models, and then use that LLM for our purpose. So that's how you can use LLMs in your specific context. So that was the next wave. Now, third wave is with respect to the agentic AI. Now, agentic AI, like I said, all these companies, let's say ChatGPT or there is this Google, everybody is coming with their own large language models. But then having this chat conversation by doing prompt is not a business value. There's no business value in it. It's good for learning purpose. But then how you incorporate these LLMs into the organizations so that we can get real benefit out of those. So that's where the agentic AI comes into play. So the agentic AI is a way, these are the models by which what you can do is you can use the intelligence of these LLMs and um, build your own processes around the LLMs by feeding the information, getting the response from these LLM models, and then provide business solutions. And the reason why it is allowing you to add the thinking capability to your existing solutions. So that's where this agentic AI is making a big shift in the technological world. So these are the three waves I see in the agent or the AI evolution.
That's a great breakdown, Vikas. So, but why do you see the AI is now receiving so much attention and it is in boom now?
Yeah. So the reason being, now there is something which is very powerful, which is available. The point is, how do we use it? Now, we see the power of this AI like a child, right? A small child, which has a immense potential. But the point is, it needs some guidance, it needs tuning, it needs teaching so that we can use that. So, since we have that human kind of capacity available to us to incorporate in our business, because our current solutions are very technical, which is you have to code your whole process. The solution that we have, any solution that you look at, mostly they are all technical solution, which is the whole process is blend into that solution. But what AI allows you to do is you can separate out the business process and the technical implementation. Um, and the business process can be driven by the control plane, we can call it, or we can call it, let's say, the AI models or LLMs. So this is very powerful because now you're separating out the thinking capability and the workflow or the process aspect separate from the code. Code can stay there. Code, your existing code or your existing logic, which is actually running your solution, will still be there, but now the business process is taken out, and that business process can be taught and retaught over and over again. In an organization, a process is not constant. It is something which is constantly changing because of the evolving needs of the businesses. So how can we change that? For changing that, you have to go in and change your code or your business process logic in your application. But if you separate that logic using these LLM models or AI with between the core solution part of it and the process, that allows you or that gives you a power wherein you can improve those process, and at the same time you don't have to improve it manually, because given that these LLMs are intelligent set of machines who can learn from their mistakes, who can learn from our feedback, who can learn from how customers are interacting with our application, and they can take that feedback back into the application, tune the processes that are used within that solution, and take it forward. So that's another point. And the third one is, given that there is this AI boom, uh, there is a lot of resource availability that is available as of today. So talk about the computational power. The GPUs and CPUs, they are a lot faster and better, and they are getting improved day by day. Moreover, the other thing is in last several years, we have generated massive amount of data. Now that data is available to us. So all of these put together, it becomes a very good recipe wherein we can really start using this AI in a big way for making better solution for any industry or any problem for that matter.
That makes sense. But for the businesses looking to integrate the AI, so how should they approach it?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. Actually, the AI, incorporating AI, it is something new. It is very new in the industry. There are hardly a very small set of people who really understand AI. And the problem for people like us who are technically savvy as well, understanding AI is not easy because it doesn't have that traditional approach of building the solution or solving a problem. So the point is, we first have to identify, let's start with the use case, finding the right use case, what problem we want to solve using the AI. Right now, there is a lot of, I don't want to use word hype, but there is a lot of happening in the AI world. So everybody wants to use AI in their solution. I have come across customers who say that, okay, in your solution, do you have AI? Do you have AI here? Again, people don't understand what is AI. They don't understand the benefit of it. And they don't even understand what are the cost implications behind that. And there are several scenarios where you don't even need AI. You just need simple algorithms to solve that problem. They are faster, cheaper, and they're you can trust them 100% because they are definite processes. But then that is why exactly we need to first make sure that we understand and find the right use case to implement in any solution. So, so that's the first step. If you want to incorporate AI into the solution, the first step has to be to finding the right use case, not just for the sake of implementing AI in the solution, but does that use case really demand involvement of the AI? So that's the first step. The second step is you have to approach this from the design perspective. Like I said, even people like me don't understand much of when it comes to implementation details. It's a new beast. We are very good in architecting solutions based on our traditional methods, but when it comes to AI, it requires a different thought process, and that is why it is very important we address this problem by considering the design first mentality. And for that to happen, the very first place to start for this would be to design a schema, which is schema as in database. Now, this is more of a technical, but you have to define the schema or the database for building your solution because using the existing schema and incorporating AI is not going to help because the whole objective of incorporating AI would be to enable the automation at the same time add the intelligence so that the decision can be made by the AI systems itself. So if you want to achieve that, you need to have a mechanism where you're gathering the feedback. Now, feedback gathering can happen from end user or by the tech people who are building the solution, or it could even be provided by another AI agent for that matter, right? So that is why it is very important to build the schema which considers the aspects related to generating the information, consuming it, and then taking a feedback against that, and then evolving that solution. That is why it is very important to start with the schema as the core. The second very important aspect is the security. Now, security is becoming more and more and more prominent because LLMs are generic models which are available for public. Yes, definitely at some cost. But then you don't want to send over the data to these generic AI models in certain cases. And every organization wants to make sure that their data is secure and is within their boundaries. So it is very important to place those guardrails and boundaries that our data doesn't go beyond this. Whatever we are seeking from LLM, it needs to be modeled in a way wherein you get what you want without having to compromise on your data. So that is the second most important aspect of it. The third aspect is AI has to be considered as a tool, not as a solution. Because, like I said, AI is a small child. It will not solve a problem for you, but it can facilitate your problem by adding those capabilities that AI provides. So use it as a enabler, a solution enabler instead of trying to replace your existing architecture. That will be a massive undertaking, and it is not the right approach to incorporate AI in your solution. And lastly, we are seeing that AI is evolving by the day. So this is a very fast changing world. And you need to be aware that you need to be aware of the future, as in what might come. So you need to be constantly in touch with the AI evolution, and you need to incorporate AI in such a way that you're not building something which will become obsolete in, let's say, next 6 months. You need to build it in a fashion wherein your solution will evolve based on the AI evolution. So that's a very important aspect that everyone should keep in mind when they are building AI solution, because whatever we are doing today with AI, by using AI, tomorrow AI itself will start doing that. So if you build something based on the current capabilities of AI, tomorrow your product will become obsolete because AI already has come up with the capabilities to provide those features or functions. So use it as a tool, not a solution, to enhance your solution by keeping the evolution of AI in mind. So that, I think, that will be the best way to start incorporating the AI in our solutions.
Yes, that's an insightful approach, Vikas. So, but when we come into all these theoretical things, Pallab, how do you say we can integrate this AI into any of the business platform? How can they get into a real integration?
As Vikas said, so AI is buzzing around everywhere. So, but the thing is how the business can implement it, because no one is going to start from the beginning again. So everyone has businesses running and they want to kick into the AI. So for that, I'll define it in 4 points. So the first point will be like, what is the first and foremost approach of implementing an AI? Then what is the patterns available so that we can use those patterns to implement the AI? And the fourth one will be how to architect it, like how to deploy and all those things. So how to architect it. And then the last point I'll tell, what is the best practices available for the AI integration. The first and foremost approach for implementing an AI. So the AI as a service, it should not be embedded with the current business logic entirely. It should be created as a separate service or microservice, so that it will function separately, independently, and it can be updated, scaled, or it can be even replaced. Because considering the rapid growth, so AI can become more powerful in coming days, and we may have to replace it with the new AI technologies. So that's why the best approach will be separating the AI services as a independent service, independent microservice, I would say. So these microservices, what will happen? They will expose the REST API or the event-driven services using Kafka or AWS SQS or SNS, so that the services can be consumed by other applications or current running applications. And then the thing comes as a, what are the patterns available? So how we can implement the AI? What are the patterns? So there are like 4 to 5 patterns available. I'll tell about that. So because different businesses and applications require different patterns. So the first pattern will be like a chained execution or a sequential AI processing. So in that, here what happens is AI components work step by steps. So what is happens is, first one AI will get the input and give the output. Then another AI will reprocess the data. So it will be chained, like things will be running in a pipe, as a pipe. Then another one will be the parallel execution. How it happens will be multiple AI will be running simultaneously. Each AI will be evaluating the result, and at the end all the results will be merged or like compared, like for the best result, what will be the best result that can be identified. And another will be that AI as an orchestrator. So how it will work? The here the AI engine will be running, and it will be coordinating different AI models. And based on the data, based on the requirement, it will command those AI models to run and execute. So that is the like AI orchestrator. So AI itself managing other AI models. And the last one will be like gen eval approach. Like what is that? Is AI will generate, then AI will evaluate. So here what will happen? One AI will generate the content, then another AI will evaluate the accuracy of that content. So how it will evaluate? It will use the company's sentiment or compliance, all those things it will use to evaluate the content. Then if it satisfies those sentiments and complaints, then it will publish the data. So that way we can use the design patterns. But then the thing comes as how to architect it, like how the AI should be deployed, how it should be managed as a scalable pattern. So how we do it, as the cloud systems are ready to use, how we can use those systems and use this AI to architect. So what we can do is, as I told earlier, AI should be running as a separate microservices. So it has to be deployed as a separate microservice in EC2's environment, or we can use AWS Lambda to deploy as a separate service. Then what we can do, we have to, then what we need is to secure the AI, because AI can be misused. So we need to secure it. To secure it, we can use OAuth2 or JWT token based authentication to secure the AI, and we should provide the rate limit so that no one should misuse the AI or use it in a higher rate limit, so that the services will come down. So that has to be maintained, and rate limit has to be there. Then we have to validate the inputs also of the AI given by the customer, so that the AI should not be abused, because customer can give any input to the AI. So that has to be validated. So that security has to be there also. Then comes the observability part. So observability is like we have to log and trace and monitor the AI behavior, so that we can analyze like how the AI is responding to our queries and all those things. So that and also if we log this and trace the AI decisions, then what we can do, we can use this data to retrain the AI models again, so that it will be retrained with the real-time data. So that also can be done. And the last thing I'll tell, that best practices for AI integration. So how the AI can be integrated, what are best practices? So it's always like the best practices will be start with a small and scale gradually, because AI is evolving, and we cannot guarantee how AI is going to impact the system. So we should start with a small set of application and pilot it and use it to analyze and then we can expand it, like for further increment of the capability. Then AI should be continuously learning also. That has to be also in the focus, because once we trained with the pre-existing data, but once it go live, it will get new live data. Like every now and then it will get the live data, and those data has to be retrained, has to be used to retrain the AI model, so that it can improve its response and improve its communication things. Then there is another way to implement the AI, like hybrid AI approach. So how we can do is like, instead of creating from the scratch the AI model from the scratch, what we can do, we can take a pre-trained model, then fine tune it, so that fine tune it according to our needs, so that it will work, and the time required for the development and integration will be reduced if you use hybrid AI mode approaches. Then AI observability and decision logs, as I told. So these has to be logged, so that we can trace how AI is responding to our queries and all those things, so that we can audit it and we can use this data to improve the AI model itself. So if I conclude this question around it, so it will be like AI should be modular, scalable, and secure, and independent of business logic, which is the most important thing, because as I told, it should not, it can be changeable, because AI is evolving now and then every day.
Yeah, that's a very good summary, Pallab. So now with that, the basics of AI and overview of AI is covered. Rashid, how do you think AI is making an impact in the retail domain?
Oh, yes. So as you also highlighted, so AI in retail should focus on removing the friction in the business process, not creating a rigid workflows, as you highlighted in your thoughts. So we shouldn't adopt AI only for the sake of adopting it. So we should find out the use cases where it can be used, and we should always leverage the benefit of AI, not for the sake of integrating the AI. So as you mentioned, AI can be utilized as a tool, not as a complete solution. So it can be evolving, it can be keep on changing. We'll be having a better version tomorrow. So for all those reasons, so we have to find out the right use cases and then only we should leverage that one. So in case if we talk about the retail space, so AI can be used to gain the business insights, to automate the process, to improve customer experience, and to make a better decisions in different levels. So if I want to highlight a few use cases in retail, so mainly it can be used in the order processing and friction removal. So AI can automate the inventory checks, fraud detection, and fulfillment of optimization. So it can analyze the historical sales data to predict the future customer demand for a specific product, allowing retailers to optimize the inventory levels and avoid stockouts. So also AI can monitor the stock levels in current real time. Also, it can automatically trigger reorders when necessary and improving the warehouse efficiency and reducing the cost. And second, one of the most interesting use cases hyper personalization. So where it can be used very effectively. So AI can tailor recommendation based on the customer behavior. So maybe it can be customer browsing history, their purchasing patterns. So based on all these aspects, the AI can suggest products tailored to individual preferences by enhancing the customer engagement and sales. Also, another one is we can take it smart scheduling and notification. So AI can predict customer shopping patterns and sends proactive notifications so that customer will be always engaged. So they'll be getting a real-time notification alerts, whatever the business want to push to customers, they can be always engaged with the customers. So another thing is AI-driven feedback mechanism and sentiment analysis. So AI can analyze reviews, support tickets, customer sentiments from different medias, like a kind of social media or any other platform where we can collect the feedbacks. Also, we can AI can power the chatbots which can handle customer inquiries, provide support 24/7, reducing the operational cost. So, and the other another aspect I just want to highlight here is a visual search. So customer can actually search the products just by uploading an image, or they can simply focus their camera into a product in real time. They can get the about details about the product, or they can get a similar items with a better opportunity or better pricing, better offers. Those all can be utilized in the AI space. So then price optimization. AI can dynamically adjust product prices based on the demand, competition, and the customer segment to maximize the profit margins. So these are the key or some of the real use cases we can highlight in this retail space for now.
Yeah, no, those are very exciting use cases. Yeah, so let's talk about how are we doing it. So Pallab, given that we have these various use cases, and we have microservices platform, we have
Yeah.
a lot of microservices in our platform. Uh, how are you incorporating these AI into? I think some of that solution you have already mentioned in your previous comment, but I'd like to hear more. How do you incorporate AI in the existing products?
Yeah. So I'll tell like how first we approach the AI. It's the same way we have approached as we have microservices. So we have created independent microservice for AI application itself, and we have exposed those services using REST API or event-driven Kafka topics, so that our other microservices can consume those API and use this AI technologies, AI features. So the deployment part, how we have done is we have used cloud native deployments, like we have deployed in EC2s, and we have used AWS Lambda to deploy for the scalability. So we have used those things. And the AI models that we have used, most of the time we have used pre-trained models, and to reduce the development time. And we have fine-tuned those models according to our domain specific requirements. That is the entire like design how we have done. Then the places where we have integrated the AI itself. So there are like few places we have integrated now. So first one is like AI powered support service. So what we have done is here we have automated the customer support so that whenever any tickets get created or tickets get generated by a customer, so it gets a smart reply. So that is the use case. So how we have done is we have created a service like where tickets are getting created on it's stored. Then the Kafka through Kafka it pushes those tickets to the AI's like exposed API, AI exposed APIs. Then what it will do, it uses those pre-trained models of historic ticket data and use those data to generate the smart replies, whatever the reply can be generated using this RAG retrieval augmented generation. So using company policies, so that also included. So using those things, it generates the smart replies. Then these replies are posted to the human agent so that they can review it once again and then send it to the customer. So that is one part, and this one is the AI human hybrid approach, we can say. So here human intervention is there. Only AI is used to generate the smart reply. Then it has to be reviewed by the human agents. Then it will be sent to the reply to the customers. So that one part is there. Then another way we have implemented is digital receipt AI for insights and notifications. So what we have done is here what is required is the use case is whenever digital receipt data comes, we need to analyze the data and generate a personalized offer or send a personalized offer or recommendation to the customer. So what we have done here is whenever a retail customer sends us the digital receipt data, so we process in our middleware service and send the receipt to the customer. That is the part of the receipt processing. Then the AI kicks in here. It analyzes that receipt data, like categorizing the products, detecting the shopping patterns. As a receipt has a unique customer identification, it detects based on the old purchases, it detects the shopping patterns. Then based on the detection, what it uses, it recommends the best personalized offer or contents what can be delivered to the customer. Then it uses our content management service and notification service to deliver those data, those offers to the customer. So that is one part that is fully AI. It handles by entirely AI, from consuming the data to and posting the offers and promotions to the end customer. Then another one comes as a real-time AI assistant for agents and users. So help here the use case is like helping human agents by suggesting response and auto filling the forms. So whatever whenever required, so those things we integrated. So here what happens is whenever a conversation happen to a human agent, so AI listens those conversation through the Kafka channel or any other channel we have available. So that way it listens the conversation. Then it also fetches the relevant customer information in the background also. So then what you do is suggest a best response for that. Then human agents can accept that, modify that, or discard that AI generated response, or they can regenerate it again if they think this is not a proper response. So that also like AI and human interference AI. So those three places we have implemented, and in future we are planning to implement AI in like retail industries like supply chain, inventory, and customer analytics, like how footfall is happening and what time frame that need to be done, like specific arrangements should be done and all those things. So we are planning to implement that also.
Yeah, that's exciting. Pallab, thank you for that. I have one story as an experience that I have had a couple of days ago with the AI. So if you're working in AI, the problem right now for us is there are hardly many people working on the AI. So the point is, how do you explore? How do you teach yourself as to how can you build the solution? How can you design? So the best way to use this, best way to go ahead is use the AI to learn about AI. So that's what I was doing. So I was working on a use case, and I was using Gemini 2.0 Flash. And so it was just chat conversation between me and Gemini. We were having this chat, and I had prepared a diagram. Um, so I'm a visual person. It helps me to put together the flow in a diagrammatic fashion to understand and to explain. So I built the flow chart, and I was working on a design for the orchestrator model. And I had done nice lines between those orchestrator agent, the various other agents to which it communicates. And since it's orchestrator model, so basically orchestrator model is an AI agent implementation mechanism where you have one centralized controller, which directs all other agents for performing given task or given work, and then it consumes that information and provides it back to whoever has requested it. So that was the basic design I was working on. So I built that design, and I was quite happy with the design. Then I thought, let me check with the uh, Gemini what it thinks about it. So I posted that diagram, and then I asked for feedback. So it said, okay, the diagram covers everything. It's an excellent diagram, but there's this one thing that you can change, because the idea is the agents will communicate back to the orchestrator when there is some request. That request from orchestrator goes to the agent responds, and based on that, orchestrator can take the next decision and give it to the next agent. So the flow is basically from orchestrator to the agent and back, and then from orchestrator to the next agent and then back. So because orchestrator is basically the control plane. So I did not put a line between the agents from one agent to second agent because the orchestrator was managing everything. But Gemini said, okay, if you can add a line between these two agents from agent 3 and agent 4, that will be helpful. Because the reason behind the reasoning, okay, I had enabled the reasoning also. So I was using the latest model. I think it was O3. So it gave a reasoning why that line was needed between agent 3 and agent 4, because agent 4 action was totally dependent on agent 3. So that's what it asked me. You draw a line, but then I said, okay, if you are saying it that way, then agent two's response is dependent on agent one, and agent three's response is dependent on agent two. Why are you not asking me to draw that line over there? Then it gave me a good reason wherein it said that yes, that is important, but the communication between 3 and 4 is a lot more important, because the importance of agent four's output is of a greater value, and that the line between 3 and 4 will make a lot more sense to the person who is going to look at your diagram. And then I was like, I got that little goosebump over there, because that's exactly what was happening over there. Then I was thinking, and the words that came to my mind was, "You're right, Gemini, but you're adamant." Because I had to go back and forth a few times to convince Gemini, okay, this is not the reason why I don't want to put it. But then Gemini every time came back with a very strong and valid reasons as to why we should uh, put that line over there. So that's one example which actually um, changed my perspective as to how powerful these LLM models are becoming. And I was reading the reasoning for every question that I was typing over there, and it was mind blowing, because we as a human, when I ask some question, we do exactly the same thing. We think over that question. The difference is our mind works really fast. We don't even realize how we come up with that reasoning, because we are tuned to do it, and it's pretty fast. And the same thing happening with the LLM model is game changing. So the evolution is really amazing. So before we wrap, what I would suggest is, given this all this experience, so what I'm trying to tell over here is the solution that we are building. Let's not plan to bring in AI all at once by replacing whatever we have, because that's not going to help. AI is evolving. So it is very important that we build our solution flexibly, augment our solution with the AI capabilities. And again, the objective of AI is not to replace human intelligence. It is to enhance the capabilities of existing solutions by using AI as a tool, uh, instead of replacing that with just with AI. That's not going to happen. That because the world that we live in, the products that we work with, are really very complex, and it's not easy for one LLM model or one agent to solve that problem. That's why we need those bots who are those AI agents or agentic AI to help augment the capability of our solution and of our day-to-day life related problems solving. So I think that's a wrap.
Amazing insights, guys. Thank you so much for your time, for sharing your expertise on AI and how RDEP is using it and its role in general retail segment. Uh, we have been looking forward to this for quite some time to get insights because AI is the way. We know how AI is being used in different industries and how it is basically transforming the industries. Not just recently, Elon Musk himself even launched the Grok AI, the third model for it. So it will be really interesting to see how we at RDEP are going to implement it in our products as well, and also overall in retail. So thank you so much. Thank you for your insights again. Or to our listeners, we'll see you in the next episode. Please stay tuned.